Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Michael Montero from the Monteville Studios, and welcome to our segment Chapter a Day on the book The Art of Creative Thinking by John Adair. Today we're on Chapter 9 that says, keep your eyes open. He's a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. William Shakespeare. If a man look sharply and attentively, he shall see fortune. For although she is blind, she is not invisible. That was Francis Bacon. I am fascinated by the principle of growth, how people and things evolved, said the portrait painter Graham Sutherland in an interview at the age of 73 years. He aimed to pin down the atmosphere and the essence of the people he painted. I have to be as patient and watchful as a cat. He could see in the human face the same sort of expression of the process of growth and struggle as he found in rugged surface of boulders, all the irregular contours of a range of hills. There are so many ideas I want to get off my chest. The days aren't long enough, he added. It may seem odd to think of painting a picture as a means of setting an idea off your chest. But for the artists, the act of careful analytical observation is only part of the story. Ideas and emotions are fused into the paints in the story, or rather, in the heart of inspiration. What the artist knows and feels is married to what he sees. And the picture is the child of the union. Painting is a blind man's profession, said Picasso. He paints not what he sees, but what he feels. What he tells himself about what he's seen or what he has seen, that principle holds true not only for the kind of art for which Picasso is famous, but also for the more realistic work of painters such as Graham Sutherland. An observation made through the eyes will undergo transformation to varying degree in the creative mind as it is combined with other elements into a new idea. Bumbling away in a cauldron of animated interests. But the observation itself needs to be clear, accurate, and honest. Like a good cook, a creative thinker should work from the best materials. Laurence Olivier was an actor renowned for his ability to build character in a creative way. I am like a scavenger, he said. I observe closely, storing some details for as long as 18 years in my memory. When invented to play the title role in Shakespeare's King Richard III, he drew upon his recollection of Jed Harris, a famous Broadway producer of the 1930s under whom he had a bad experience. Harris had a prominent nose, which Oliver borrowed from the role, along with the elements of his disagreeable characters. But Oliver combined other elements into the new role, such as the shadow of the big bad wolf, which he had seen long ago in Walt Disney's film Pinocchio. Remembered film often give him such ideas. The title dance he did while playing Shylock came from Hitler's Jig for Joy when France signed its capitulation in 1940. A moment shown on a German newsreel. Observation is a skill. At the lowest level, it implies the ability to see what is actually in front of you. As scientists know, this is not as easy as it sounds. It is almost impossible to be totally objective. We tend to see what we know already. That does leave some creative possibilities. For, as Gustav Froberg wrote, there is an unexplored side of everything, because instead of looking at things with our eyes, we look at them with the memory of what others have thought. Wow. Our minds are programmed to notice certain things rather than others, not least by our particular interests. A botanist, for instance, will be likely to notice plants. If we see things or people repeatedly, we hardly observe them at all unless there is something changed from the familiar or predictable. Some deviations from the norm which forces itself upon our attention. A good observer will be as objective as possible. Inevitably, he or she will be selective in observation, guided by some idea or principles on what to look for. But being serendipitous, you should be sensitive to what you have not been told or told yourself to look for. One of the best forms of training in observation is drawing or sketching. Take some paper and pencil and look at any objects. Now select what you see, the key lines that gives you its essential shapes. You are now exercising careful analytical attention. Do not worry if you cannot reproduce the object like as trained artists. Your aim is different. You are using sketching as a means of learning to use your eyes so that you can really see the world around you. Such sketches, however, rough and ready, will not only increase your awareness of the world, but they will also keep you to etch the scene in memory. In his autobiography, A Milestone Around My Neck, 1983, the artist Norman Thelwell makes just that point. It may be that one's awareness of the world is heightened during the process of recording visuals, things with pencils, pen or brushes, sketchbooks and paintings. Even the slightest note can recall not just the day and place, but the hour, the moment, the sound and the smell that would have gone forever without them. I have drawings still which I did as a child, and I can remember when I came across them what my brother said to me, what my mother was doing at that moment or that time, what was on the radio when I was working, and how I felt about the world that day. About 70% of the information we come across through our eyes. Therefore, you should develop your ability to see things and make details or detailed observations, for they are the materials for the future creative thinking. Key points. Number 1, the ability to give careful, analytical, and honest attention to what you see is essential. If you do not notice and observe, you will not think. Number 2, key points. Observation implies attempting to see a person, object, or scene as if you had never seen it before in your life. Key point number 3, the act observation is not complete until you have recorded what you have seen, therefore helping to commit it to a memory. Chapter 9, the end, lead us to chapter 10 that is entitled Listen for Ideas. See you on chapter 10. Peace.